Hello again. So, what are we doing today? Um, for some basic context, I'm right now sitting in Bangalore in this hotel lobby. Don't ask me how and why, right? But yeah, I somehow ended up here. So I kind of wanted to, shoot a video and try to like talk about this idea, like, hey, chat kya hai? And like, what is this thing? Like, are you working on it? Chat sounds like a very dumb word. What's happening there? Just want to discuss that. Want to discuss my second project. It's called Chat, and what are we doing with there? What's the idea? What's the use case? Blah, 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 blah. So if you're a VC watching this video, I'm going to butcher a lot of jargons. So deal with me. Yeah. So what's the problem that this startup idea is solving? Like, Chat is a full-fledged startup idea. Even though I call it a project just to humble it down, but like it's a good fucking startup idea, bhai. Like, swear to God, what does it do? Here's the problem. You as a founder, you probably want to sort of build a social presence in the web3 space, right? But here's the thing, you cannot do that. You probably need to hire a ghostwriter in the web3 space to write down content for you so that you can possibly go around and post that content. I'm saying that's kind of bullshit. I'm like, why do you need to pay a person $1,000 a month, right? Why do you need to pay a human to write that content for you when AI can do that? That's not a problem, to be exact. That's literally not a problem. But when you look at the use cases of having a personal brand now, it completely overshadows the idea that we are working towards. It's like if you have a brand, that you as a founder can raise capital by through inbound investment leads. You can possibly have angel investors DMing you on LinkedIn and Twitter. You can have VCs reaching out to you, analysts reaching out to you. Then apart from that, it gets easier to attract and retain talent, because people look at you from the outside and they go like, damn, that guy is doing something awesome, let me join his team, right? So that's kind of the use case and the problem that we're looking to resolve. Like, hey, what happens when we kind of like automate a founders web3 founders? Why web3 and why founder? I'll come to that later. But why a founder social presence and automating is so cool as a proposition, right? So the solution is AI. Why like, what are we doing here? Some AI jargon is involved, right? So bear with me. GPT-3 is a very massive language model that was created by OpenAI. Some, like, I don't know, fuck dude. It's like, I think a few years ago, like 3 years ago, it was created, and they said like, hey, this model is trained on like absolutely like shit ton crazy fuckload of data available on the internet, and it can speak like a human. And we were like, oh, fantastic. But there was a lot of startups which popped up around. There's copy.ai, there's copysmith, there's peppertype.ai, and a bunch of other startups. They just popped out of nowhere, right? Built on top of OpenAI. And my question was that, hey guys, you've been building some really cool and awesome stuff, right? But I don't see any niche there, and I'm just obsessed with this idea of having a niche, right? So I asked myself like, hey, you want to use AI, right? Why don't you just use GPT-3? Like, it can generate content, right? You just need to feed a little bit of content and prompts there, and then it will generate content for you. And that was the a use case for this GPT-3 I found out. But here's the problem. GPT-3 as a language model is trained on data that is trained till 2019, which serves as a massive problem. Why? Because if it's trained till 2019, it won't grasp the concepts around NFTs, it won't grasp the concepts around DeFi and the yield and staking and whatnot, right? And like basic crypto shitcoins. नहीं समझ आएगा उसको. So I just went there and I was like, okay, wait a sec. What if we just figured out how a way to sort of scrap data from the internet around crypto, possibly like websites with massive crypto articles, right? And fed that data into this machine on a daily basis, not even like one time basis, like a daily basis, and fine tuned it every single day. But if you're a crypto, if you're like a Web3 node, no, if you're a machine learning engineer watching this, you want to probably kill me, stab me in my stomach or something, but that's fine. Um, the idea might be slightly wrong. It might not pan out that way, but I know I can fine tune it. As we speak, it's fine tuned literally in my desktop right now on my back, right? Few shot learning get through. Won't get into the basics of what few shot learning is and how ML works, but GPT-3 can be used to create content for these founders, and these founders can literally just type the type of content they want. Now creating that experience, creating that way of going into an application, sort of like typing the shit that you want, not even typing, they don't have time to type, they can just click on buttons and they're like, okay, I want this, I want this, I want that, right? So how do you create that experience? That is where a product person comes in. That is where my role comes in as a product person, right? I'll go, then I'll be like, okay, fine, if a founder signs up on the wait list, then we send them an email, then email ke through they get access to the dashboards, and dashboards ke through they're adding their stuff, right? Creating that experience is more important than creating crazy good content, because good content can be created over time, it can be iterated over time. That experience, that's fucking important, and that's what I think like I want to personally work on. So yeah, that's the basic idea that I have in mind. So why do I think like this is big? Why do I think that fine tuning GPT-3 for very small use cases is going to be big? For several reasons. I feel that copywriters do a very laborious job, right? It's like something that they have to put a lot of hours into, that can be automated through AI. And this won't exactly put a lot of copywriters out of job, to be exact. It would rather like create more jobs for reviewers, content reviewers is what I think. Copywriters ka role has to shift away from writing content or producing content to reviewing content, and that's just something that's inevitable, right? So that's where I see this moving forward, with GPT-3, with AI, and this whole scenario. And why this jump from Web3 to AI? I don't see it as a jump or anything as such. Sava hai chal raha hai, it's fantastic, it's beautiful, it's so good. Having a shit ton of fun there. We're building good stuff there. We're building, a Web3 oriented pool of freelancers, highly vetted freelancers there. Do check out savahai.com ek baar. And I think like this is not a jump. This is rather like me realizing that there is another underrated idea that exists, and if I don't grab onto it, if I don't work on it, if I don't go all crazy into it, then I'll probably lose the right time, right mindset while scenes. So that's kind of a wrap up around this. Like, thank you for joining, dude. Like, thank you so much for like actually sitting down for this and watching this whole thing. I really appreciate it. For like quick intro, I'm Vyom. I have been leading team at this company called Sava Hire for the past 9 months. It's a team of small team of 7 folks who are trying to understand how hiring works in the Web3 and blockchain space, and try to source freelancers, vetted freelancers in this space. So we've created a platform for it. So that's kind of it about me, and I hope